Hey there everyone. So today I'd like to talk about the Kovarex enrichment process. Now let's say I just got my first 100 U235, right? And I'm trying to feed it into these machines. And what I want to have happen is because I've got 100, I want at least 2 machines to be working. This is a long process, right? But instead what's happened is this first machine has taken like the lion's share of the U235, leaving nothing for these other two. Now this is kind of fucking my day up, right? Like ideally, I would have at least 2 machines working right now, all working together to achieve a common goal, but this first selfish bastard has taken it upon himself to restrict the flow of U235 to these other centrifuges. And that's not ideal. So there's a better way of doing this. And that's why I've developed my quick starter, the process. Now, this quick starter relies on each centrifuge having a little memory cell, so it keeps track of how much U235 it has. So let's say I've got 100. Well, let's say I've got my, my mixed belt coming in from the, the refining over here, the uranium refining. And what's going to happen with this is instead of this first machine taking like, 100 as it did back there, it's only going to take 40, and then it's going to stop. As you can see, this buffer is empty. It's not taking any more. It's letting these next machines take their fair share of the U235, right? So now we run into this great scenario where we can actually have multiple machines starting themselves up, and then now this one's not greedy either. It just takes exactly what it needs to get working, and then it stops, right? And how this works is we have a memory cell here. So we're taking the value that's being read from this arm, this stack inserter, all the U235 coming in, and sending it to this little memory cell. So this is a decider combinator that works, all the time, outputs whatever is input, and it has a green wire connecting the input and the output. So this is just going to store whatever value is read from this. And also, what is also connected to this is this stack filter inserter. This is going to be the output for the machine. So it's going to read its hand contents and send it into this arithmetic combinator, which is going to multiply whatever the stack filter inserter sends it by -1, and output some number of U235, which feeds into the memory cell. So this means we're able to keep track of what goes in and comes out of these machines, which is extremely useful for not being incredibly greedy, as per the example down here. So how do we get this so that it feeds into the next machines without, losing stuff? Well, that's where this filter inserter comes in. So it's got its stack size set to 1, and it's only going to work when the U238 output arm is working. So only at the end of this cycle is there going to be U238 getting output just once by the stack filter inserter. By the way, no matter what level of inserter capacity you're on, this will work because the stack filter inserter can always handle, more than 2 items. And the rest of these also work. It also works on, red belts or yellow belts, but, that's getting a bit ahead of ourselves. So the point is that this filter inserter outputs a U235, only one of them, one time per cycle. And that's where the excess is going. That's how the excess gets fed on to these next few machines and gets these ones to work quickly. So you can see, if I add more, these machines aren't taking more than they need. These ones are just getting themselves started, and then they're letting the next machines do the work. And you can see this in memory cells. So the memory cells for the ones that are working, they all read 40, 40, 40. This one is starting to get working. You can see that number increasing as the arm starts to collect the U235. And then it gets to 40 and it stops, and it just lets the other one have its fair share, right? And this is going to work until every centrifuge in this stack is full of U235, and only then it starts outputting, something on the end, at which point you can, you can have the game tell you, like, hey, tell me when you've got any U235, right? You can just set one of these and say, when that's more than 0, global playback, give me the alert, tell me, right? And it's going to do that. It's going to say, oh hey, we're ready now, right? So, you know, you can set up a little process or whatever you want to tell you. So let's say this has been running for a while, and that's the kind of situation we have over here. This has been running for a long time. We can see these machines have produced quite a lot of U235 at this point. So now what we actually want to do is get rid of this logic, right? Because what we're going to see here, as some of these machines start to finish up, is that they're going to stop working. You can see this one, it stopped working, while these arms are kind of restocking itself. These guys are going to stop working soon enough too. And this isn't what we want, because all that downtime, that's just, you know, that's wasted UPS, it's wasted factory time. So at this point, what we can do is get a deconstruction planner that only does filter inserters, arithmetic combinators, and decider combinators, and just slam that across the entire array. It doesn't matter. It's, you know, and that will get rid of all the stupid logic that's happening here and just allow the machines to sort of produce normally. And at this point, you can do stuff like add productivity modules, right? You can really increase the efficiency with some beacons, right? Like, isn't this cool? You can just scale it right up, and eventually these things buffers are going to start increasing. You can just, you know, do this, and now they'll run continuously. This one, it's going to run forever. See, it's still working. It's just going to keep working and working and working as its buffers accumulate. It's going to get more and more efficient over time. So I really think this is cool, you know? Like, it's scalable. You can do something like this, where just grab the blueprint again, slide it down like that, and it just works, you know? Except for this, which doesn't work. But, you know, you can add more onto the stack, and they'll slowly start accumulating whatever U235 these machines will allow them to accumulate until you've expanded to the amount you can get to. Yeah, it works on any level of belt. So you can do blue belts if you're early in, you can do yellow, you can do red. I personally designed it originally with red belts, but it works with all levels. It works with all levels of, you know, inserter capacity. It's just a robust little system. So I hope you can use the blueprints I provided in the description to your advantage to get as much U235 as quickly as possible. Thank you for watching.